Would you give the Leaf, Nissan's ungainly, completely electric 5-traveler hatchback, more noteworthy thought on the off chance that it resembled a customarily styled little auto, offered 150 miles of range, and began at $30,875? That is the thing that Nissan is wagering on with the recently uncovered 2018 Leaf, which arrives before the actual arranged time 1 year from now at dealerships in each of the 50 states. By giving the Leaf a patched-up plan, perkier execution, a more drawn-out range, and more accentuation on tech, the organization is trusting significantly more individuals will consider going electric. The 2018 Nissan Leaf packs a 40.0 kWh battery pack, a major update over a year ago's 30.0 kWh unit, and the 24.0 kWh pack offered before 2016. That enables the Leaf to jump past other low-estimated EV opponents, for example, the Volkswagen e-Gol, the Hyundai Ioniq Electric, the Honda Clarity Electric, and the Ford Focus Electric. In spite of the fact that the Leaf still misses the mark concerning the 238-mile extend and 60.0 kWh limit of the Chevrolet Bolt EV, Nissan will bring on that model with a 60.0 kWh form, badged Leaf E+, due later 1 year from now as a 2019 model. Nissan guarantees that the base Leaf S will have more than double the scope of the first form. That 2011 model was useful for 73 miles, by current EPA methods. But then it offers for not as much as the first $34,000 in addition to beginning cost. Economies of scale for lithium particle cells and more prominent vitality thickness had an impact in these more positive numbers, maybe with an aggressive bump from Tesla, as well. The battery pack design repeats that of the present model, 192 cells organized into 48 modules, yet with a third greater limit. The execution of the same EM57 changeless magnet AC electric engine is enhanced by means of another inverter, allowing a yield of 147 drive and 236 pounds-to-foot of torque, versus the past 107 horses and 187 pounds-to-foot also. The designing is shorter for the engine. Nissan guarantees these progressions consolidate to make the 2018 Leaf around 15% speedier from 0 to 60 miles per hour, which would chop now is the ideal time down to 8.8 seconds. Nissan guarantees it's around 30% snappier from 60 to 100 kilometers per hour, what might as well be called our 30 to 50 mile per hour and 50 to 70 mile per hour top-equipped speeding up tests. At the point when the Leaf initially grew in 2011 after huge advancements speculations from Nissan, the automaker hopefully trusted that EVs would make up 10% of the worldwide market by 2020. In spite of the fact that EV deals are on the ascent, in 2016 they represented only 0.2% around the world, 0.5% in the United States, and about 1.0% of Nissan's US traveler vehicle deals. On the off chance that the present Leaf is that 1%er, this newer auto is shaped and fiddled to be a 10%er. While Nissan architects took freedoms to influence the original to Leaf emerge outwardly from Nissan's different models, the accentuation this time is on shedding the nerdy persona and helping it fit in nearby its gas-controlled brethren. The new styling highlights boomerang molded head and tail lamps and Nissan's motion front styling, with just a trace of blue in the 3D work design grille and in the diffuser striping to flag it as an F. The fashioners worked with a few imperatives, notwithstanding. The 2018 Leaf extends a large number of the body structure hard purposes of the active Leaf, thus, while the sheet metal is all new, it keeps to a similar frame factor as the past model, yet with a lower act, as boss designer Hiroki Izubi put it. Nissan included extra cross members for a 15% change in torsional and bending nature, and attempted to bring down the focal point of gravity and additionally reinforce crashworthiness with high-quality steel for the side columns and side ledges. Altogether, the Leaf's body in white is around 100 pounds lighter than sometime recently, however with its somewhat heavier battery and extra dynamic security and tech highlights, control weight has just expanded a humble 33 pounds or somewhere in the vicinity. Outside measurements are near those of the old Auto. The new Leaf is 0.4 inch lower, 0.8 inch more extensive, and 1.4 inches longer, in view of preparatory worldwide specs, and the wheelbase continues as before. Shockingly, there's something in the way these extends lay out that makes the new model look marginally duller and smaller than the past form, from a few edges. The impact is the inverse in Leaf models with the past outside columns and the skimming roof top. US clients will have the capacity to understand that passed out column look just with white, yet that could be extended. Another scarlet amber metallic red shading will be offered for an underlying restricted version run. Inside, with regards to Nissan's other late updates, the Leaf has a more even dash with the front corners pushed outward. The gauge group is rearranged, with a simple speedometer and a reconfigurable TFT show just to one side. Hard plastic surfaces are as yet plenteous, yet the shading tones make the climate hotter and airier. The seats are more strong, and the materials and trim are more standard. There's blue sewing on the seats and on the new 3-talk directing wheel. What's more, the power catch now gleams blue instead of orange. Raised situate space is sufficient. Headroom is better than average, and the load floor is presently level behind the back seats. While the Leaf has shed its blob-like styling, it won't take a great deal of burrowing to discover some nerdy touches, regardless of the possibility that you figure out how to miss the startup motion picture that is tied in with giving the driver a feeling of energy about driving an electric auto. Not a long way from the continued hockey puck shifter is an e-pedal catch. Press it, and you get basically one-pedal driving. While Nissan has laid out this capacity entirely well in this video, we ought to stress after some involvement with it that it is not only a trick. This mode permits 0.20 grams of most extreme deceleration without squeezing the brake, rather than 0.10 grams in the shifter's B setting and 0.05 grams in drive. Lift off the quickening agent, and e-pedal will convey you to a stop, yet step by step, even on a declining evaluation of up to 20%. We found the element instinctive, despite the fact that Nissan has blocked out low-speed crawl altogether, which takes some getting used to. Drivers additionally have the choice of turning off the e-pedal. Nissan asserts that with its e-pedal drivers can limit the utilization of the brake pedal and do 90% of day-by-day driving without it. The other star include is ProPilot Assist, which utilizes contributions from 4 cameras, 12 sonar sensors, 6 front and 6 back, and millimeter-wave front radar to look after speed, path position, and following separation, and even stop, naturally restarting as long as the stop endures under 3 seconds. Basically, it gives you a chance to grasp your hands off the controlling wheel, quickly, when you may need to. We encountered this framework on a test track. Engagement is much similar to some other savvy voyage control framework, with one extra catch. In spite of the fact that Nissan is mindful to state that ProPilot is a driving guide and not an independent or self-driving mode, it's an extension towards that objective. The framework chastens you following 10 seconds to return your hands on the wheel, and it begins moderating following 15 seconds in the event that you don't. Likewise, full usefulness is confined to a greatest of 62 miles per hour, restricting its incentive for US road driving. Most 2018 Leaf models will offer a bundle of dynamic security innovations that exploit that sensor set, including dynamic path keeping help, computerized crisis braking, and a 360-degree screen with moving question location. The 2018 Nissan Leaf will be offered in S, SV, and SL models. ProPilot Assist will be incorporated as a major aspect of an innovation bundle on the SV and SL. Infotainment equipment incorporates a 6.0-inch interface for the base S, with others offering or including a 7.0-inch unit with Root, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Prior this late spring we got a concise C of the Leaf, in very much prepared SL pretense, on a shut course in Japan, with around 20 minutes of time in the driver's seat. From the autos we quickly examined, we can affirm that the new model feels calmer, snappier, and more charming to drive than the active one. The 2018 Auto's new directing apparatus, faster guiding proportion, and changed weighting have a critical effect in following and low speed taking care of, and the controlling loosens up more typically out of corners. The past Leaf rode delicately, and we can say the same in regards to the new Auto. We are forewarned that US models will have diverse damper tuning and more grounded controlling weighting than the pre-production autos we drove, so we'll save encouraged judgment until the point that we can attempt a creation variant. Nissan has focused on climb levels equal to those of a top-notch vehicle. It cases to have brought down them by 1 decibel at 62 miles per hour contrasted in the active model. The distinction sounded considerably more emotional, however, maybe due to the Dunlop Inasa VC300 tires on the model. In spite of the fact that despite everything you hear the Leaf's engine whimper from outside the Auto, it's presently harder to recognize inside the lot. All Leafs have a 6.6 kilowatt locally available charger that permits charging at level 2, J1772, in around 8 hours. On the base S, you'll require a charging bundle to get two things that are standard on whatever is left of the lineup: CHAdeMO quick charging and another level 1 and level 2 blend charging string that will enable the Leaf to be connected to a 120 volt or 240 volt outlet. With level 3 CHAdeMO quick charger, the Leaf can recuperate 90 miles of range in 30 minutes. 1 year from now's 60 kilowatt Leaf E Plus will be the primary CHAdeMO Proficient Auto to offer 100 kilowatt charging in the United States, versus a 50 kilowatt max for the standard Auto. Nissan says that the new battery can hold 90% of its ability after 500 charge release cycles, more than 60,000 miles. In useful terms, and the organization will proceed with its present guarantee, ensuring around 70% of unique limit or more for a long time or 100,000 miles. Both the batteries in the vehicles will be made at Smyrna, Tennessee, and at a sum of 4 glob.